Hello there, my movie peeps. I appreciate you clicking on this episode of Side Flick. Let's get into some movie news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is we've got the first trailer for the Lion King sequel, Mufasa, and how we feel about it. We got to look at the new Falcon that'll be coming to us in Captain America Brave New World, how we feel about his suit. More updates on Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 and who is locking down to be the director of this movie. All that along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and well, let's just get into the first story here. So today they dropped the 1 minute, 30-second long trailer for the Mufasa movie. This is the Lion King sequel that is working as a prequel, and I've honestly just had no idea how to feel about this movie. I do like the fact that they hired Barry Jenkins to be the director of this, and is the only thing that's kind of giving me hope for it, but I just wasn't the biggest fan of the direction of the live-action Lion King movie. I just felt that the live-action style with trying to convey emotions into the animals didn't exactly work. However, there are snippets of things going on in this trailer that kind of give me hope that the movie's going to be much better than I'm anticipating. Effects-wise, it looks to be about the same quality as the first Lion King movie. It still kind of looks like a glorified documentary that you'd find on the Discovery Channel, but the plot of this movie has me intrigued. The official one they have listed here at the bottom of the trailer is Mufasa the Lion King enlists Rafiki to relay the legend of Mufasa to young lion cub Kira, daughter of Simba, and Nala, with Timon and Pumbaa lending their signature shtick. Told in flashback, the story introduces Mufasa as an orphan cub, lost and alone, until he meets a sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to a royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of an extraordinary group of misfits searching for their destiny. Their bonds will be tested as they work together to evade a threatening and deadly foe. And yeah, I feel like you can pretty much imagine what some of these twists and turns will be. A lot of that will have to do with determining who is Scar in these group of misfits that Mufasa gets together with. But there was also small parts of this trailer where it looks like they're trying to convey more exaggerated emotions into these animals, specifically when Mufasa is in this pond about to be attacked by an alligator. You can actually see a good amount of emotion here. So honestly, I'm still remaining extremely hesitant on this, and I'm right in between trash or treasure on this. I'm going to want to hear from you guys. How did you feel about the Mufasa Lion King trailer? And do you think this movie is going to come anywhere as close to making $1 billion like that first movie did? I feel like it's obvious why that first movie made $1 billion. It's the freaking Lion King. Of course people want to see that movie again. Do they want to see a prequel, though, on Mufasa? And well, speaking about Disney, we got a report here of a new animated movie they're working on that I'm sure is going to excite a lot of people because it's an animated movie based on Kingdom Hearts. This is being reported by the Dis Insider, who has been a reliable source when it comes to Disney-related news. And look, I'll be straight honest with you guys. Kingdom Hearts was unfortunately one of those things I never got into. I never played the games or got into the lore. It was always fascinating from afar to look at. I had friends who played Kingdom Hearts on the DS and whatnot, and I was like, yo, what's that? What the heck? Mickey Mouse and Donald, what are they doing? It seems so weird and outlandish to me. I guess that's why I never jumped in, but I was always intrigued on how they explain all these Disney characters all into one complicated story. And I feel like fans have been asking for Kingdom Hearts to be adapted in some form, and animated seems the way to go. It would be so impossibly hard, I think, to do this live action. I wouldn't even want to imagine what Mickey Mouse would look like live action. But I guess that's the other funny part about this, because, you know, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, and Donald Duck are a huge part of the Kingdom Hearts story. It's like Disney rarely loves to do anything with Mickey Mouse in the movie sphere. Yeah, they've got like little cartoon shows for kids and whatnot, and they still treat him like a mascot, but I'm like, Disney, why have you never made a like focused in Mickey Mouse movie? And now kind of like the first big step of that is going to be Kingdom Hearts. That's going to be fascinating for me. And with Disney being just this large property of so many IPs, which one of them are going to get fit into this Kingdom Hearts film? I have no idea really, but I'm willing to see them try. Who knows how long this will take to actually come to fruition, but you guys hear there's an animated Kingdom Hearts movie in the works. As a Kingdom Hearts fan, can you explain the lore just a little bit for me? Dumb it down. And are you excited for Disney to tackle this? Moving on here, we got some leaked promotional art for Captain America Brave New World. As many of you might remember, this movie was originally set to come out May of this year. That was the plan, and you know what? As much as people have been hesitant with this movie, I've really been looking forward to Sam Wilson becoming Captain America. I thought his Disney Plus series was really good. It had its hiccups, wasn't perfect, but I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was one of the better Disney Plus series, and I've really been looking forward to see how they can make Sam Wilson a notable Captain America, one that is worthy of holding the shield, and how audiences are going to take his movie. But every decision they've been making with this film has been so questionable. For one, a rumor we've been heard about that is all but confirmed by now, especially with these McDonald's toys, is that Harrison Ford, who is now playing General Ross in the MCU, is going to become the Red Hulk in this movie. And yeah, I think fans have been dying to see the Red Hulk, but I don't think we've been dying to see him be a villain up against Sam Wilson Captain America. That's definitely an odd choice, but there is an argument to be made that Sam Wilson and General Ross have a history against each other, that there is a bit of foe there, but I would much rather see the Red Hulk fight a Hulk, you know? Then there was all these things involved with the reshoots of the movie, which they haven't even started on that. That's one of the reasons the movie got delayed to 2025, because apparently the test screenings of this movie have not been going the way Marvel has hoped, so they were planning 6 months of reshoots, which makes you wonder if they're reshooting the entire movie, because I know some wrestling fans were so excited to see Seth Rollins be part of Captain America Brave New World as a villain, part of the Serpent Society, but it's rumored his part is getting completely removed from the film. I'm getting bogged down in all this Brave New World details. The point of the matter is, we at least got something to gaze at and make us go, oh, I'm kind of excited to see that in the movie. Our first look at Joaquin Torres becoming the Falcon in Captain America Brave New World. Here we have him alongside Sam Wilson for a McDonald's promo, because like I said, the movie was going to come out in about a week or two, so McDonald's was going to have the toys all lined up. And there's been some back and forth on this suit. I, for one, will be honest that I don't love it, but I understand why they went with this choice. Putting it side by side with the comic book counterpart, you can see where the MCU was taking elements of the comic book suit and putting it into the live action. I've seen a lot of people say it looks a little too similar to the Vulture suit in Homecoming, and I guess that's just a lot with the green and the visor over the head. But when you also remember Sam Wilson's first Falcon suit and how basic and kind of boring it was, it made sense for the time, because it was Sam Wilson just stepping in. He came from a military background, and these wings were used for military purposes, and since Joaquin Torres also is coming from a military background, it makes sense why it's a little bit more basic and just has some generic colors. And this is also the MCU. Characters get 10 costumes throughout the course of their movies and TV shows. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Joaquin Torres goes through a costume change by the end of this movie. I'm just more excited to see that dynamic, because Sam Wilson is now Captain America. He's in charge, and now he's got his sidekick with him. What's that gonna be like? Let me know what you guys think about this promotional art for Captain America Brave New World. And well, something else that just popped up here while I was in the middle of recording this side flick is the announcement of a live-action Scooby-Doo series headed to Netflix. The executive producer of this is Greg Berlanti, who worked on a lot of the Arrowverse shows for CW, like The Flash and Arrow. The show right now is just currently being described as a 1-hour dramatic project that is going to update the Scooby-Doo characters for modern day. The show is also currently being written by Josh Applebaum and Scott Rosenberg, who separately have worked on projects like the Dwayne Johnson Jumanji movies, Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles, and even Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So take what you will from these credits. But overall, I'm kind of excited. I love the live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and although, yeah, I would have loved them just to make another one with this same cast, even if they're older and it doesn't make sense for Scooby-Doo to be alive this long, I still wanted it. But in a world where our most current Scooby-Doo content is Velma, and that's just pure trash, I'm willing to accept a live-action Scooby-Doo series on Netflix, even if it starts to feel a little bit like Riverdale. Just make the mysteries interesting and good. Something like the opening of that first Scooby-Doo movie, where you're focused on real people in costumes, them trying to solve a mystery, not trying to bang each other. I could be happy with this, but we'll see how it goes. Are you excited for Netflix to make a live-action Scooby-Doo show? And well, moving on to talk about some Spider-Man 4, the race for a new director is still on, baby. While there are definitely some crazy, and I mean crazy, rumors circling around online that Sony and Marvel are seriously considering people like Steven Spielberg or Jordan Peele to direct Spider-Man 4, please do not believe those rumors. Would I love that? Heck yes. Is that believable? No. Let's look at the two current candidates that are actually in the running and are looking to be the people that might direct Spider-Man 4 for Tom Holland. One of the newest ones that is being provided to us from Cinestealth, that has been a very reliable scooper here, is saying that Jonathan Levine, who directed Warm Bodies and Long Shot, is rumored to be on the short list to direct the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie for Marvel Studios. And look, although that's not like an exciting name, and a lot of people will be going, who? Especially also when looking at their IMDb and previous works and movies that they've done, none of that for sure screams Spider-Man or makes people go, yeah, get that guy. But when I'm being 100% honest with you, this feels like a standard Marvel or Sony pick. This feels like something they would go with. Do I love this choice? I'm not going to say yes, but looking at like the long shot, he's a director that seems like he can handle characters and relationships, and that's very important. So it's not someone I would be jumping up and down about, but it's a realistic choice of someone that could actually end up directing the next Spider-Man movie. And again, remember, a lot of directors take this leap sometimes. The Russo brothers went from directing a movie called You, Me, and Dupree, an Owen Wilson comedy, to then Captain America Winter Soldier and surprising everybody. Same thing with John Watts. If you're a big fan of his Spider-Man movies, he went from directing a couple of like indie movies, a horror movie called Clown, to then a big movie like Spider-Man. Or Mark Webb from 500 Days of Summer to Amazing Spider-Man or Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sometimes that leap in between a smaller, more contained project into a bigger movie can be really exciting, and you can see the passion and flair, and that's what I want with Spider-Man 4. I just want to see some passion and flair on screen, and for all we know, we could get that from this guy. Now, the other choice is honestly the choice I'd actually be much happier with. I talked a bit about this during my recent live stream because someone brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, they are in the running. The other people that are on the short list to possibly be the new directors for Spider-Man 4 make way more sense, and I think are probably a shoo-in to get the job. Writers Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. Now, they were actually the ones who wrote Spider-Man Homecoming, so they already have a relationship with Sony, have even worked on one of these movies as writers, but it's the movies they've directed that make me go, okay, yes, put them in there, because they did the most recent Dungeons and Dragons movie, which I found to be surprisingly awesome. They did Game Night, which is like one of my new favorite recent comedies ever made. If you have not seen Game Night, go check that out. Seeing how they can handle comedy really well, and some of the more interesting set pieces of Dungeons and Dragons, because there's a cool couple of action scenes in that movie, one in particular of a character who's shape-shifting from animal to animal, from a castle to a village. I would actually love to see these guys then direct Spider-Man 4. I feel like they could be good at it. But, you know, only time will tell. I'm still thinking we're going to find out who this director is by the end of the summer or in the middle of summer. Sony is still supposedly on this path where they want to start working on this movie by the end of this year to somehow get it released next year, although I don't think that's possible. They're gonna have to go with a 2026 release date. But either way, Sony wants this thing made, so we're gonna find out who these directors are soon. You see these more realistic names. I know not that exciting, but putting yourself in a realistic mindset, who do you think is a good fit? But anyways, guys, that is all movie news we currently have going on right now. I want to thank so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.